Heidi-ho neighbors, Goji here, and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Red version. When we last left off, we explored a bit of Mount Moon, and we got a Geodude named Dudley. That's pretty much all that happened. Also, the last Zubat we fought went totally supersonic on Lester here. Apparently it can still learn that at level 10. I need to, probably need to put my guide over here so I can look up, like, if Pokemon will have certain moves or whatnot. I know for a while the Zubats only have Leech Life. So I guess they get Supersonic on or around level 10. Hey, Dudley's level 9. I know that eventually I'm going to run out of Pokemon nicknames, but I have been coming up with other ones that I'm fairly sure will fit within the character limit. I think it's a 10 character. I know it's a 7 character limit for actual player characters, and it's a 10 character limit for Pokemon. This is an Oddish, by the way. It is a grass poison type Pokemon, not unlike Bulbasaur. However, most of its moves involve either Absorb, which is a grass type move there, some kinds of Absorb, or powder moves, like Poison Powder, Sleep Powder, Paralyze Powder, that kind of stuff. Stun Spore, rather. That is a Pokemon that is actually exclusive to the red version as opposed to the blue version. The blue version will have Bellsprout instead, which is another grass poison type Pokemon that does a lot of stuff with vines, like Wrap and Vine Whip. Actually, she got a Bellsprout too. So Bellsprout is one that we won't be finding in the wild, because they're basically counterparts to each other. Like Ekans and Sandshrew are counterparts to each other. Like basically wherever we would find an Ekans in the red version, we would find a Sandshrew in the blue version. Or like those semi-counterparts where Caterpie and Weedle. Weedle was really prevalent. Weedle, as we saw, is really prevalent in the red version, but not so much in the blue version. It's still there, but it's really rare. Whereas in the blue version, it's the opposite. Caterpie is really prevalent, but in the blue version, but really rare in the red version. But with Oddish and Bellsprout, they are very much version exclusives and counterparts to each other. So wherever one would find an Oddish in the red version, they would find a Bellsprout in the blue version. Did we see Paris before? I don't remember if we did. I think we may have. But just in case we didn't, Paris is a bug grass type Pokemon. So we do not want Dudley fighting that. Not only does it learn Leech Life, it also learns Absorb. We can get rid of it fairly easily using Herald here, because it has a quadruple weakness to flying type moves. Bug and Grass, don't you know. And Dudley's level 10. Dudley will be caught up to us before we know it. Oh, another Geodude. It will not be worthwhile to fight a Geodude with another Geodude, especially if they both only know Tackle. This will just take forever, so I'm just going to go ahead and use Captain Floofers. But yeah, about the character limit, basically the direction I was going with that is there's actually a couple of Pokemon that you can tell met the character limit, or exceeded the character limit in what they really wanted to do, so they actually had to shorten the name in some ways. Bellsprout, its like final evolved form is called Victory Bell. However, it's Victreebel. But like its previous form, Weepin' Bell, actually had 2 L's in its name. So basically, going along with that, with that Bell type of what do you call it? Theme there, you'd think that Victory Bell would have 2 L's, but it actually it got cut off because it would have exceeded the character limit. Another good example is Feraligatr, which is a Pokemon from Gold and Silver. Actually, we can just go ahead and do this if we want to. It's TM01. I think that's Mega Punch, but I have to double check. For alligator, actually is kind of spelled weird because it exceeded the character limit. It's Feraligatr. So, there you go. And you can probably Supersonic Dudley, and I don't want that to happen if you can only use Tackle. I'll go ahead and risk taking Lester out. I'm actually not walking away from that guy. I'm just, getting myself ready, because I'm fairly sure this is the guy I mentioned before that could just, destroy me if I wasn't careful. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and put out a Pokemon. I'm going to put out Captain Flu first, because he stands the most chance of surviving this encounter. I'm actually going to go ahead and save it after I'm done with the Zubat here. In fact, I could probably just walk in front of him. Let me go ahead and swap the Pokemon so that Flufers is out first. I'm going to go ahead and save it. Saving. And then I'm going to check, see what exactly that... Yeah, Mega Punch. I'll hold off on that for now. Mega Punch is actually a decent move. It's a normal type move, I believe. It's a fairly powerful normal type move. I may give it to Pikachu just so he can have something other than Thundershock to fall back on. Or I'll give it to Geodude because Tackle is a pretty crappy move and that's all he has. I'm fairly sure this is not the encounter I thought it was. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe this out with Captain Flufers anyway because I don't want to risk getting Supersonic on Pikachu. Because, that would be like a free Supersonic that he would get on that without taking damage, and that would be no good. Okay, this isn't the same one. We've got another Ekans, though. I'm going to keep him out, because just in case he does Wrap, that way I have the strongest chance of surviving if he decides to use Wrap on us, because, knowing my luck, he'll use it. Because we got lucky last time. We came in contact with an Ekans and didn't use Wrap. Oh, never mind. Captain Flufers is level 18. Just being careful. Okay, so I get, find a fossil. Give it to me and scram. Now, just for that, if I find a fossil, I'm not going to give it to you at all. We got an Ether. That's what I was going over there for, was a secret item on that rock, and that was an Ether. Ethers, they're like Ethers in Final Fantasy games, which restore MP. They restore PP, but they're very, very rare in the game, and you don't ever find them in stores. So that's something I would only save for emergencies. Yeah, I'm just going to run away from that, because why not? I'm going to go ahead and put Geodude back out in front. Because he needs some experience. Did you come to explore too? No, I came to just pass through, youngster. With a Rattata. Your Rattata is not in the top percentage of Rattatas. I'm making references to a future game, but Gold, Silver, Crystal versions. There's someone who actually, because you have, a cell phone in Gold, Silver, and Crystal, and, he'll call you and tell you that, I think, because the people will just call you and do small talk, and it's, fairly useless unless you, get specific people in your call list, but, one youngster will call you and constantly tell you that he thinks his Rattata is in the top percentage of Rattatas. But that's for a future LP. I am planning on LPing Pokemon Gold in the future. Not Crystal, because A, I don't really actually own Crystal. I mean, I have, a Crystal cart at my house, but it's my friend's. And, while I was kind of cheating with Goemon, because I was like, I really want to play this game, I don't actually own it, but I'm going to say that I have access to it. Because I do. My friend has a copy of it that I could just borrow anytime if I knew where my N64 was and I really wanted to play it. but while I actually do have his Pokemon Crystal here, I actually I don't really own it, and I want to play Gold over Crystal anyway. Even though Crystal is a lot more in depth and has more story to it, Crystal does not have Mareep in it, and I plan on using Ampharos as my electric type, because that's the electric type I always use in Gold and Silver, was Ampharos. Oh dear. Potion! I don't know why I used Ampharos, I just did. I also really like Lantern for whatever reason. It's like a water electric type Pokemon. I think that was just, you know, boggled the mind for me, so I used one in one of my playthroughs of that. Well, mainly because I thought Chinchu looked cute, I guess. I get things if they look cute. Don't judge me. I'm here to show off to girls. Your short shorts and your top percentage of Rattatas. Ooh, there's an item up here. Almost forgot. A Moonstone. Yeah, this is what they were talking about in the museum, was a Moonstone. It is basically used to... There are basically elemental stones throughout the game. And, the Moonstone is actually the only one that we won't be able to find in a store, because, like, the Thunderstone... There's Thunderstone, Waterstone, Leafstone... Thunderstone, Firestone, Waterstone, Leafstone, Moonstone. The former four we can actually buy in a shop later, and it can be used to evolve certain Pokemon, obviously. Two of the Pokemon that we'll be getting, well, actually three of them, will actually use those stones. Pikachu here, the one that's in our party, actually evolves with a Thunderstone and evolves into Raichu that way. We'll mainly be doing that just to get, but mainly once we get to the point where we can actually buy Thunderstones, we won't actually be using Pikachu anymore. We'll be using the Jolteon I was talking about earlier, which does require a Thunderstone to evolve. But I'll also be evolving the Pikachu with a Thunderstone just to actually have the information in the Pokedex, just so we can, you know, count it as being caught. But Moonstones are... You can only find 4 in the game, which is fine because there are only 4 Pokemon in the game. Clefairy, Jigglypuff, Nidorina, and Nidorino that will evolve with those. And we've seen Jigglypuff and Clefairy already. Nidorina and Nidorino are actually evolved form of those Nidorans we saw earlier. Whoa, you shocked me. You're just a kid. Oh, I forgot to swap out the Captain Floofers. This is a hiker. Hikers mainly use ground and rock types. And I don't feel like just doing a tackle fest here, so I'm just going to swap out to Captain Floofers. Oh, I'm sorry, this one might have Defense Curl. Not that it really matters because we'll be using a Water Gun against it. We should probably get this done before 15 minutes is up. Because I've been trying to get my... You know, even though Audacity seems to be kind of... I mean, it hasn't been failing at all lately. You know, knowing my luck, because this is like the second thing I've recorded today, it might do it today. But it hasn't really mattered when... What time it is, because at first it was only doing it like if we recorded for longer than 15 minutes. So I'm still trying to keep it below 15 minutes if I can. Yeah, that was easy. That just give a lot of experience if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's a lot of experience. Okay, so we beat this hiker. And, he's shocked. He was shocked. Kids like you shouldn't be here. Alright, so I'm gonna cut the video off here, and when we come back, we'll go down this ladder. Actually, let's go down the ladder now. I've been Radio Goji, and I'll be here next time. Join me, won't you?